Don't listen to the stories they tell you about Fear Street. Wouldn't you rather explore it yourself and see if its dark terror and unexplained mysteries are true? You're not afraid, are you? So you all know that R.L. Stine wrote the extremely popular Goosebumps series. It's the one thing you'll hear people bring up all the time about the man. But here's the thing. Stine wrote a lot of books. He's still writing a lot of books. And Goosebumps wasn't the first horror series he wrote. There was another horror series before Goosebumps took the world by storm. A little horror series called Fear Street. First published in 1989, Fear Street was a YA horror series that happened completely by accident. Stine at the time was mainly working in comedy, writing joke books, and writing on the Nick Jr. show, Eureka's Castle. Yeah, R.L. Stine used to work on that while writing Fear Street and Goosebumps. Originally, the publisher Archway wanted another of Stine's co-workers, Christopher Pike, how's that for a nostalgia bomb, was asked to create a horror anthology for teens, but he wasn't interested, even though he wrote a lot of teen horror stories. So they gave the assignment to Stine, who wrote some standalone horror stories at the time. The result was Fear Street, and it was a success. Like, a crazy success that would last almost a decade. Hell, unlike Goosebumps, I remember reading these back in middle school quite frequently. I don't remember much, but I thought they were entertaining. The premise of Fear Street is like the reverse of Goosebumps. Instead of following preteens all around the country, it focused on one small little Ohio town called Shadyside. On Shadyside is a little street called Fear Street, and since the days of the pioneers, it's been considered a place of evil. Filled with hideous stories of missing people, strange creatures, and murder. Lots and lots of murder. Boom! The main characters of the stories were the teenagers of Shadyside having a terrifying encounter in some way, shape, or form with the street. Either they are living on Fear Street, or a plot point happens on Fear Street, or somehow Fear Street is involved even when the story doesn't even take place in Shadyside. Sometimes they were paranormal, but most of the Fear Street books are closer to a murder mystery, or more appropriately, an 80s horror film. The series was never as big as Goosebumps, but at the time, it was popular. There are well over 100 Fear Street books, not from the original series, but because of spin-offs. Lots and lots of spin-offs. Outside of the main series, there were the Fear Street Super Chillers, Fear Street trilogies like Cheerleaders and Saga, Fear Street Seniors, even a kiddie version called Ghosts of Fear Street, which was basically a Goosebumps ripoff and was written by ghost writers. There's something ironic about that. They even tried to make a Fear Street TV show, but tried to do the Ghosts of Fear Street, and...
Super hungry.
Can you guess why it never went past the pilot?
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine.
But Fear Street is hardly talked about. At least at the level of Goosebumps, which is sad because this was the series that would get Stine to write Goosebumps, and you can tell they are cut from the same pulpy cloth. A lot of the same things I've said about Goosebumps are present here. Two-dimensional characters with basic traits that make them relatable, several fake scares and cliffhanger chapters to keep you reading, and twists that sometimes work, but are poorly underexplained, making each book vary on quality. The only real difference is that since this is set in one location, you will actually see characters from other books make cameos or play side roles, even referencing other books, which does give the books a nice little touch for lifelong readers. If you can even remember the characters in the first place. Overall, Fear Street had its own little flavor that made it different from Goosebumps, dripping in the time capsule age of the 80s and 90s. Fun fact! Stine re-released the Fear Street books back in the 2000s, where they are basically the same, but only switched out some of the pop culture references to make them relevant. But the big difference of Fear Street were the deaths. Unlike Goosebumps, Stine would kill the teens in the books, and sometimes in really bloody ways, making Shadyside one of the most dangerous places you ever wanted to live in. They can be addicting books. Stine knows how to keep you invested, and just like Goosebumps, Stine has been able to revive the Fear Street series with a new line of books thanks to very passionate fans to scare up a new generation. Some horrors just don't know how to die. So, for the entire month of October, we will be looking at 31 books of the original series. Take quick looks at how well they are at scaring us, and look at the covers, because I'm more than positive we all bought R.L. Stine books because the covers were sometimes better than the book. Though the covers don't have the same staying power Goosebumps have. Once you've seen one Barbie doll act scared, you've seen them all. But oh, there are some really cheesy ones here, as you'll see. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, my name is David Popovich, aka the Bookworm, and welcome to Bookworms Fear Street Retrospective by R.L. Stine. Sit back and relax as we go to where your worst nightmares live. Till next time, have a scary day.